The Negro Justice League.
Hi, welcome to the Negro Justice League, a Black Nerd Podcast, episode 89. I'm your host, Cherry.
It's your boy, Jay.
And today we have two guests. We have two returning guests. We have Oolong Tea from Oolong Tea Gaming. Say what's up.
What's up, people?
And we got Jaslyn, a.k.a. Nubia, a.k.a. whatever else she goes by these days. Girl, say what's up.
What's good, everybody?
All right. So today we will be discussing Queen and Slim and Watchmen. It's be an episode full of beautiful Black excellence. And try to hit Queen and Slim around the 7-ish, Watchmen around the 25. Watchmen in particular is very spoiler sensitive. Queen and Slim. We're gonna want to discuss the ending. So if you don't know how it ends, whatever. But I will say, Watchmen, you're really not gonna want to be spoiled on that because the twists and turns. And I can't discuss any one episode without a spoiler just because there's so much going on and so many twists and turns. So try to hit that around 25. All right, we're gonna get into the news. First and foremost, Meghan Markle and her husband ran off on the plug for the first time, meaning Prince Harry grabbed his wife and said, "You know what? Y'all not gonna do her like y'all did my mama.
Yup.
We up out of here." So they left. They renounced their duties as official royals and moved to Canada against the Queen's wishes, and gave her and the family about 10 minutes notice before they told the media. A lot of people are highly upset about this. Of course, the racists are blaming Meghan. But the way I see it, and the way it looks to me, having followed the royal family long before she was a part of it, and watching some of the stuff that Henry has said, it looks like it's him. He's tired of the crap. He saw that his mother's Princess Diana. He saw how she was treated by the media. Saw that she's no longer here, and that may or may not have anything to do with things.
Conspiracies.
Right, hashtag conspiracy. So I really think that he just decided to take his wife and get on up out of there. And I think it's been a long time coming, even before he got married.
Agreed.
Honestly, if he was with the program, he wouldn't have married a Black woman in the first place.
Thank you.
So it's him, and this is what he would do. And I have the utmost respect for this man. Any man that can take the woman that he decided to marry and put her before everything, above everything, her health and her safety and her happiness, and decided, you know what, I even got to push my family to the side, let them know this is who I want to be with, and this is how she gonna be. I respect that. Yep. I do
want the caveat. I don't want dudes to think because they left their McDonald's job or something that this equates the same thing. This man left a whole kingdom.
And he did it with a contingency plan. He ain't just quit his job and say, "I want to be with my boo."
Right.
No, you gotta have a plan in order. You gotta have somewhere to go. You gotta have some money. The
money flows with this plan.
But I do respect him putting her first. Like that's what you want in a partner. That's really what you aspire to. Like that's the beautiful things, and I do have a lot of respect for that. Yeah. Moving on. Raising Dion season 2 is announced by Netflix.
Yay.
Probably won't be getting a review on that. If you don't know why, go listen to our reviews of season 1. And that's all I got to say about that without disparaging any children.
I couldn't even finish that, so.
Yeah, it was out of control for me.
Oolong typically finishes things. He ain't really like me. Like, he'll watch some stuff, and he didn't watch that. So, yeah. Dang, Justin said she ain't having no kids after watching.
I was like, is this it? Because I'm going to hurt my child.
No. Every kid's not like that. My child got personality. You know I tell the truth.
We're gonna let this alone.
All right.
Maybe the next season will be a few years in the future. So it'll be like grown up teenage version of him, a whole new kid. The only way I'm willing to go another second season. Yeah. And I low-key hope his mom dies too. Just
bruh, nah.
Wow. Just start over. Get a new family.
Yeah,
she gonna be light-skinned. We're gonna do this.
Do a Raising Dante. New kid.
Every season is just a new kid named Dante. I'm fine with that.
So is this JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where it's just same name, different people?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, okay.
All right. Jay, your news.
Speaking of things I am interested in actually watching a season again of, Atlanta has finally announced when season 3 and 4 is coming,
And it's
and
trash.
it's super trash. It is not coming again until 2021. Good news is season 3 will come out at the beginning of January, and it'll be 10 episodes. Season 4, which will be 8 episodes, comes out mid late fall, they said. So probably I'm thinking September, October. It's trash because at that point it's what, 2, 3 years almost since the last
Yeah.
full season. So, and I know everyone on that show has been absolutely crazy
Super busy. They're all
busy.
booked.
So, that's what happens when you got a show that comes out and is so amazing, everyone starts getting hired. But for those who loved Atlanta, and there's a good reason, it is super duper basura trash that we have to wait all the way until 2021, until the next season. But at least it is coming, and they've guaranteed it season 3 and 4.
And this is after we waited quite some time for season 2.
Right. Season 2 took about a year after season 1
yeah. No, more than a normal year. Like most shows do it yearly. It was more than a 365 year. It was a long time.
But good things come to those that wait. So
whatever. They're gonna be all old.
I don't think I even finished season 2. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna season 1 for rewatch season 1, then go into 2.
You have time.
Well, you have time.
I'm gonna have to just remember the storyline if I'm gonna be real.
Is there a storyline? I just feel like stuff be happening.
It's just niggas in the ordinary day.
There was a storyline.
There's a bit of a line that's storied.
It's just Negroes in Atlanta, man. This is the way it is.
Trying to come up. That's all it is.
It's an erased line. It's just a little happy.
I am glad to know that the reason it's taking so long is because all of them are busy. So that's really dope. So, hey, at least we got something out of it. Speaking of someone who was kind of gone forever and just came back out of nowhere full force, you guys don't know, Dave Chappelle was basically missing from the public eye for like 10 years. And then all of a sudden came back in 2017 and started dropping these Netflix specials. He's already done 4 of them. There's 2 more supposed to be coming out either 2020 or 2021 or something like that. And he's really been on a roll. And last few days, he was actually honored with the Mark Twain for American Humor Award. It was really awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's on PBS, it's on YouTube. I think it's pretty much free to watch. And it's basically celebrating him, celebrating what he's done, not only for stand-up comedy, but just kind of how comedy and how things like that after the Dave Chappelle show kind of changed how people view certain things. And so shout out to Dave Chappelle. He's definitely one of my favorite comedians. He's probably one of the best comedians out there today. Granted, some of the stuff he does, some people obviously have issues with, but his speech at the end of his award really kind of gave you a really great look on what he views his art form is and why he continues to press the boundaries. So shout out to Dave Chappelle for getting that award. The Mark Twain Award is really huge, and can't wait to see what comes next.
Yeah. That's good.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna hop now into our agenda, which is Queen and Slim first and foremost. Damn, like I said, we're gonna talk about the end of the movie. So it's gonna be spoilers, but honestly, ain't a whole lot happened before the end. So if you had
a lot of running.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. Okay, stuff happened. Not that it was boring or there was no action. It's just no one thing of note that it'd be like, oh, you shouldn't have told me that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, let's get into this. It starts out with a Tinder date. We see that in the trailer. And the Tinder date quickly goes left. Well, no, I'm lying. It started out left. The whole date was trash from the beginning. And then
super trash. I would have walked out.
I would have left too. I would have left on her behalf.
Yeah. So we're gonna call them Queen and Slim. But, and this is something that bothered me about the movie, nobody is ever actually addressed as Queen or Slim throughout the film. So I'm not even sure who Queen and Slim are. Because the characters aren't even called, they're never called Queen and Slim.
And Daniel's not a slim type dude to be called slim.
He's a nice little. You got a
He
little
got a
meat
little
on
thick,
him.
yeah, especially in that car scene. But we'll get there when we get there.
Ain't mad at it.
Y'all gonna hate us today. I already told y'all that. This episode is not for the fellas.
Anyway, continue.
Y'all volunteered to be here. Ain't nobody holding you against your will.
I volunteer.
So listen.
No volunteer. You know what I meant. What was I gonna say? So Queen, I'm gonna call her Queen because I don't remember what her name was in the show, but she was rude, very clear that she didn't want to be on a date, very not interested, and she was just like rubbing me the wrong way.
She was there for a free.
I guess they're setting her up for her like emotional issues background,
or maybe for the growth that happens like later in the film, maybe.
Yeah,
they made her seem more kind of like a woke type person in the film,
but at the same time, she kind of wasn't.
Slim was the more woke one,
right?
The first thing is like, oh, do you really like the food at this restaurant? It's black owned,
and she was like, it's trash, but it's free. Yeah, she thought
she was educated.
Yes, she was.
And that kind of bothered me because she was more of like the persona of your educated. I grew up from something. I don't look back, and so the rest of this is trash. I'm above this kind of character for her, which builds to that personality trait that all educated women are snooty, so all educated black women are snooty, and so like it was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I love a good meal, but I would not trash talk during that free meal, at least until after the check. Now, once the tip is done, I might have a few things to say, but I would probably leave.
Okay, so let's move on to the action. Essentially, they get pulled over for something stupid, some type of infringement. Some white cop pulls him over. He's swerved, messing around with her.
Yeah.
And they get pulled over, and there's some back talk. And then again, Queen is doing her, I'm an educated black, you're not gonna talk to me like this thing. Which again, it does rub me the wrong way because it is a stereotype of us. That we can't shut up, that we are rude, that we
know everything, and that we will have our way.
Yeah. And so that ends up getting Slim in a position where he's about to get shot, basically execution style, and she steps out the car. So she about to get shot. There's some scuffle back and forth. She ends up actually getting shot. And in that scuffle, Slim gets the gun and shoots the cop. And so then there's okay, what do we do now?
And that part tripped me out because she's supposed to be a lawyer? Yeah, she's supposed to be a lawyer.
And she's supposed to be. She is a lawyer.
No, I'm sticking with that because the way she treated it, like if you work in the field and stuff and you like, all right, we got to run. It's not going well. You set this man up for death, like already.
The fact of how she decided to do it, I really thought the movie was going to show how she wasn't a lawyer, how she was someone who just got out of prison.
Y'all don't sound like y'all know many lawyers, to be honest with you.
I don't. I don't know too many lawyers that will go on a run neither.
I do. I do. Like I've seen situations where lawyers will give you a legal answer and they will give you a real I didn't say this but answer. And a lot of times the I didn't say this but answer is get out of the situation but while you can. Not necessarily shoot a cop and go on the run. He did not. But it also wasn't a legal consultation. It was we hear what we're gonna do. I personally don't agree with her decisions, but I won't say that it's not a lawyer thing to do. Because she knew, as a lawyer, she knows this ain't going well. He can't get out of this. He's a black man and killed a cop.
Right.
Going through the system ain't it.
Yeah.
Nothing about what she said was wrong. Definitely. It was all correct. It was just how she went about it.
That part.
And her attitude before that, it was like, I didn't trust her. It really, for a really long time.
I didn't trust her. I didn't like her, and I don't agree how she handled it
at all.
Right. But I'm playing devil's advocate as well.
Especially when Slim was such a decent dude. He was like, listen, I did do it. I am a criminal. I am guilty. Like he was trying to do the right thing, or at least try to do the right thing. The fact that he was just talking about, I want to go see my family. I really felt what he was trying to do. Even though she was correct, like, yo, bro, You cannot stay here saying you shot this white officer. That's not that's not going to end well for you.
I also don't understand her decision to go on the run with him.
Yeah.
When she didn't do anything but get shot.
Well,
she's kind of an accomplice if you think about it. She was there with him.
But starting it isn't a legal thing. Like,
you're right.
She still got shot by her. I personally would have sat on the curb, been like, you go on about you run. And I'm gonna sit here, wait for the cops coming. I'll be like, hey, he shot me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know this man. This is a Tinder date. I met you an hour ago.
Right.
You go, I appreciate you, but you gotta go.
Thanks for the
meal. This is why I thought she wasn't
really
a lawyer. I really thought it was gonna show her like someone who just got out of prison, was on probation or something. That's why she was such a.
I thought she was some type of criminal.
Yeah, because that would have made much more sense of why she did all of these things the way she started doing them from the get. She was ready to say, "F the police, we gotta run, take the gun."
I don't understand the we. I just think she should have said, "Hey, you run, and I'll handle this as a lawyer from the lawyer's side and get myself out of this and see what I can do for you later."
And that's what I would have done. But
that's what I would have done. I would have stayed my behind in the car in the first place. And she escalated the situation. Like, had he really been in imminent danger, then yes, I'm gonna get out of the car because I'm not gonna let him die.
Right.
But I'm also not gonna escalate it. You got through that traffic stop.
If the Black King was able to control the situation like he originally wanted to without the Queen jumping in, there would have been no situation in the first place because brother was smooth enough his way out of it. We all know white cops do what white cops do. He would have been okay. Worst comes to would have been a ticket.
She stayed in the car, like I said.
It would have sucked. It would have been humiliating. His ego would have taken a hit, but you deal with that on afterwards. You let this happen so y'all both can live. Then you build him back up when y'all leave.
Now, going with the white cop, the dude was just amped. He was going to do something no matter what. It was going to be bad. But yeah, like I said.
But it didn't necessarily be death. It could have just been
an angry white cop for no reason. I thought we were going to get a backstory about him. Like,
we did. We got a little bit that he done this before. He done killed a couple people before.
Couple of people, yep.
This is what he does on Friday night.
Yep, this is his joyride.
That's what he do?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on. I say nobody typically really agrees with how that situation played out.
Nope.
Also, so moving on. One thing I really liked about this movie was the wardrobe. They told a story through the clothes everyone wore. Like, you can watch the characters progress and change through their outfits, even though they only have maybe 2 outfits. But you can see that, like, they start off in regular day clothes. She's got on something like some white pants, some boots, a shirt. She's very conservative. It fits her personality. I don't even remember what he had on because it just doesn't matter. Right. And then so because they're on the run, they have to change their looks. But it tells a story in the sense that they end up at a pimp's house and have to put on hoe and pimp clothes. But it also signals a change in the character and their thought process. They go from we're on the run, we're victims, to we're still on the run, but there's a form of empowerment a little bit. And there's more of a transition into a teamwork, as you said, camaraderie, and to like going from whatever their names were to like a Queen and Slim.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to Bokeem Woodbine being the in the scene.
I promise you that Bokeem Woodbine was my favorite part of this movie. Like, he was really made the ticket price worth the money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I was just gonna say, Uncle Earl is all right with me. I think we all have an Uncle Earl families.
Do we?
I definitely got an Uncle Earl. His name, I ain't gonna put his name up there, but
his name is Robert. No.
Actually, yeah. Hey, Uncle Earl.
I don't know about that.
Just one, you got that one older family member maybe who's not exactly always been fully okay with all legalities in the world, and sometimes you learn a few things as you grow. Mm-hmm. I just appreciate it. Plus, when's the last time we even seen Bokeem, honestly?
I feel like we see him in a lot of stuff.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen him
that way.
No, actually, I don't
saw
remember.
Him in like 3 things in a row.
What? Are you just like watching movies from the 90s and think that counts or something?
He's been in recent stuff. He was in No, because what was that movie where he died and he was in the military and he died? That was right before this.
Saving
I'm
Private
talking to
Ryan.
Oolong. I'm talking to Oolong.
I
Did you
don't
say
know.
Saving
Actually.
Remember the dudes were jumping out of the plane?
Oh,
And then
Tales.
no. It was that movie called
Dogma.
I forgot it was
stop
called.
it, Jay. Let me think.
Let me think.
Was it Netflix or Amazon?
It was on actually it was on Hulu, and it was kind of like a World War II scary / movie. Overlord. There you go.
And that's
Overlord.
not old.
That's not old. That was like
Okay.
2018.
Very recent. And then Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
He wasn't Spider-Man.
Was that
Okay,
Right. And there was something else, but I'm not gonna say and waste time talking about what Loki Wilbon was in. But I don't think that he's been as undercover as people might feel he has been. Sorry for spoiling Overlord, but that was in the beginning, so whatever. What was the point? He was my favorite part of this film. He played it to a T. Like everybody else was acting, but he showed up and played his part. Like he showed up like a professional and acted his butt off, and I appreciate it. And I know there's some comments on the internet about his final scene with his outfit, his black outfit, and that was just a beauty to behold. Was how fresh he was in that scene, and not that he was attractive or anything, but it was. I've never seen somebody that clean, not in a long time.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed how the clothing kind of gave me an impression of not only what they were going through, but kind of like
who they were
and who they were, and kind of gave me that feeling of like the black exploitation, the Spike Lee type movies where it's the fight power, it's them against the world, black strength, because the story kind of has an ending that everyone expects, but they were still fighting it. And that's, I think, something that you always like to see. And I like how the clothing and almost how the movie kind of started cutting itself with the colors and the cinematography was showing that.
Yeah. I like that he, as a pimp, is not, he's got not character, he's got range. Like he's got his dark side, but he's a good person and you want to root for him and you want, he's a good dude with circumstances.
The hustle and flow type pimp. Yeah, like technically he's a horrible monster for what he does, but heart of gold.
Right. He cares about his family.
Right.
Family comes first.
And then speaking of his family, there's the line that he kills his sister, who's Queen's mom.
Yep.
And that's part of her issue, I guess. I didn't really care about that. Like, I don't know that was necessarily, that it actually added to the story to me.
I don't really feel like he killed her?
They got in a fight and it was an accident. He pushed her down the step.
And then Queen got him off in court, pretty much.
Right.
Which is like, I guess that's to show that they're close.
Well, that they're close, and I guess kind of shows a character part on her side, because it showed that she, or at least that she was hungry enough to do whatever it took to make sure she made it as a lawyer, because I think that was her first case as a lawyer.
It was her first case.
So she wanted to succeed, but he was family, and at the same time, that was her mom, so she made a decision, and a decision that she had to live with, knowing that the killer of, the one who's supposed to be one of the closest people to you is also a family member and still alive. So that internal struggle of not only getting over that, forgiving your mother's assailant, and then, embracing it for yourself, that, you made this decision, you got to live with it. Like, it kind of showed her character development, which was cool, whatever, but still very salty.
Yeah, I just wasn't crazy about her character, period, no matter where she developed, honestly. Even as the end, I was like, she was whack. Okay, so we got to speed up a little bit. We lingering on things. One big part was the sex scene. It was a beautiful sex scene. Like, I think it was shot really well. And this is one of those films where the director, the art director, whoever knows how to shoot black people and black skin. And so it was actually very beautiful to behold sex scene, because of the skin, because of the lighting, because of the colors, the way they did it. However, it was also juxtaposed against a little kid getting shot by the police.
Right.
So
who also shot the police first.
Right.
Yeah. That part.
So he
actually
had a conversation.
Black officer first. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He had a conversation with Queen and Slim, and he was so inspired by this conversation that he went to a march and shot a black cop in the face, and then got shot because of that.
Yeah.
Don't know what to feel, right?
That was when the movie kind of went down for me.
Yeah, that's
and
when I was like, this sucks.
I was already very tight on it. The only reason I even allowed myself to finish because we were going to be talking about it, because I think I've said this before, I'm really over the black trauma torture porn genre, and this is part of that. But I thought because of the beauty of it and the story, I was trying to hang on until this happened. And at that point, I finished, but it really took a lot out of me because this is not the thing I needed to see.
It was unnecessary. Honestly, even if you had to have the kid die for the story or whatever, to have him shoot the cop first makes you so angry at his stupidity that it makes it worse than if he just got killed by the cops like a regular black
That's what I'm about to say. I think it would have been better if he was not the aggressor.
Yeah.
And he got killed.
Which is horrible to think that would have been better.
Right.
He still died by the police, but it would at least been
It wouldn't have been his fault. Like, we could blame somebody other than him.
Right.
But speaking on, you were talking about like the scene of the sex scene and everything and how beautiful it is. So the director, I think this is her first real feature film. Her name is Melina Matuskas, and she's done music videos. She's done Formation for Beyonce. So she has a very good eye for things like that. That you can clearly see her strengths. I think it's also in these parts that we see her weaknesses on some things.
I think. Go ahead. Oh, just to preface what you're saying, I think it is well done as far as filmmaking is concerned. Like, it's beautiful, it flows, it's a good film. But Jay, you can go ahead and elaborate on the issues, like the story issues. I think that's where you're going.
Well, just the story issues of, and we've kind of been talking about it this whole time. The beginning with the whole Tinder date, why she did the things with the police officer. This young boy being kind of seeing Queen and Slim as kind of like heroes and making them these mythological people and shooting first. The juxtaposing of that with the sex scene, you get what the vision is, but as a story, for me, it doesn't meld well, especially then again with how the story ends. I would have almost been able to forgive all of that if the story would have ended in a different way than what everyone, or at least for me, just like there's nothing worse than watching a movie and knowing how it's going to end and knowing that the way it's going to end is going to make you upset and sad anyway.
Right. I think we'll go ahead and talk about the end and then we'll wrap it up. The end, they don't make it. Right. We don't expect them to make it because this is black people in real world. And they get very close, within feet of making it, and don't.
Yeah.
That's what you expect from the moment it happens because that's how it will go down in real life. However, I don't think we as a people needed that. I think
exactly.
And this is a conversation we had when we reviewed Get Out, and this is a conversation that Jordan Peele, I think in his wisdom, decided not to go in this direction because we know the real ending. We live the real ending. We feel it. We see it all the time. We don't need to see it in a film. I didn't pay money. I didn't show up to deal with this. You understand?
This is supposed to be
as a people, we needed them to make it. And I think had they made it, this movie would have been better received. Like, it wasn't bad, but I think it would have been more excitement around it, more cheer, hey, you got to go see that, had they made it.
My issue was mainly that they got turned in by another black man.
That was my issue.
Because I knew they weren't going to make it. They said, because from jump, they said this was going to be a Bonnie and Clyde kind of story. And if you know the story of that, you know these folks ain't going to make it. So I was cool with that. I prepared myself for that. So I was fine them getting, spoilers, but gunned down at the end. My issue was you got Buddy from Florida, too, that immediately turned him in.
Shout out to Edwin.
Like, some money.
He ain't had to do him like that.
He ain't have to do him like that. No. And so it's just, we already, and like you said, these are issues that we already deal with. These are issues that we deal on a day-to-day basis. So black people turning on black people for a profit it's here. We know this happens. We know it's real. So I don't really want to see it.
I think this is really exemplified every negative aspect of us as a people.
The black culture.
From the black woman who's too educated to sit down and shut up when it's time to sit down and shut up,
Right.
to the black man who's basically castrated in the sense that he don't do a whole lot.
Yep.
He just follows.
Right. And then to the drug, I don't know what the guy, like the
something.
I'm talking about the guy that turned him into. We have a pimp and hoes. Threw that in there for no reason. I liked them, but you know why? Did he have to be a pimp with hoes? I don't know.
And then we got the connection. That's what he was. He was just like a connect for whatever
like
you needed.
The plug.
The plug. Yeah.
We turned him in because he wanted the cash.
Yeah.
I would expect that from the white family. They stopped.
I was ready for them to turn them in.
And the white family did. They played their part. In all of this, the white family played. They didn't like it. They didn't want to do it.
The wife didn't like it.
Wife was 100% against this, but she
played her part, and I liked that.
I was like, okay, yes, Sarah, yes.
When you contrast that to all the other Negroes in the film, then maybe I don't like it, but I liked it. I liked the fact that she didn't agree with. She didn't gotta agree with it, but she played her part, and that I respect that.
Yep.
And even the black cop that was like, nope, and just act like he ain't seen nothing. I like that, and I honestly. I really think this film would have done better, and I would like it more had they given us what we needed instead of what we already know.
No, yeah,
I agree.
You don't agree, Oolong?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
All right, y'all. So A through F. Oh, go ahead, Jay. One more.
I was just gonna say the way it comes down, because the director is a black woman, more or less. When I see this scene keep on coming up, it feels like this is a studio decision. Like it had to end almost this way.
Because we can't have niggas getting excited and killing cops for real.
And getting away with it?
And getting the...
We don't want to inspire it. Get out fiction.
Yeah.
I hear that.
You're right.
I hear that. They probably filmed alternate endings and it was like, this is the one that made the cut.
You're right.
Hopefully we get a director's cut with a different ending.
Would you watch it?
Would I watch it?
No.
I would.
Not, but
I'd watch the ending.
It would be nice. It'd be nice to get one.
At the end of the day, I just want to support.
I would watch the cut. I wouldn't watch the whole film. How about that?
Yeah.
I'd watch the cut, but I'd support. I'd go. I might take it out, but I'd go.
All right, A through F. Jasmine.
Oh God, you would start with me. I will give this a B-. Like, I like the movie. It was cool. Support the black people. Loved, the videography, like the cinema portion of it. Love that. My gripes were, dealing with the black struggle, the black stereotypes that really get on my nerves. Not having to really see that, but I like the movie. I will support it. I did. I went to see it in theaters, and so I'll give it a B-.
Oolong.
No.
I think we lost him for a second. All right, Jay.
I am going to give this. I think I'm going to give it a C+. Really inching towards a B- because for this to be a first-time, full-time release director, I think it was done really well. Again, cinematography and everything is amazing. I loved the actors and actresses in this. They played their parts, I think, well, even though I don't think the parts were actually created well. But I really mean, honestly, I'm tired of this genre of torture porn. I don't think I can do another one in me. It took me a really long, I stepped out of the movie theater the first 10 minutes when they had the situation with the police because I was like, I didn't know if I could do this. So that has to give me some pause about this, because I don't go to the movies to feel like this every time it's a black movie, and that's what I'm starting to feel like. So it did its job, but for me, I can't give it more than a C+.
I'm gonna go with the B-. It was done well. I said that. It has beautiful colors. They film black skin well. It's as far as the things you're supposed to learn in film school, did you follow it and do it right and do it well? It is done well. It is a beautifully made film. It is well made. However, what Jay said, I'm tired. I'm emotionally tired. And I'm tired because I have to live this. it's one thing to watch a movie where you have two lovers and they end up dying and it's sad. Like that's one thing because it's a story that happens. But when you're Black in America and this is your reality, you walk into the theater tired.
Right.
And so I didn't need to be worn down further.
Yeah.
Right.
And so honestly, I'm glad that I didn't see it alone because I was just emotionally drained afterwards. And I went with friends who went to go see another movie. And so when we all came out together, I could at least talk to people who weren't down and kind of like
get yourself back up.
Right. Reabsorb some energy and like, cause you need it's exhausting. Oolong, you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So A through F, what do you give this film?
A B.
And why is that?
I mean, so basically, I thought the movie was okay, but I think what really did for me was the ending. I wasn't really happy with the ending and how it ended, and why it ended that way. So I think that for that being said, like I think it was a good movie. So it was still a good movie, even though the end wasn't all that. So I just gave it a B. I think it's good. Sorry.
There you have it.
Yeah, I'm agreed. All right, moving on. Goodness gracious, let's bring up the. I feel like we just got sad talking about it.
Yeah, I'm
like,
a little sad
the
now.
energy just got a lot lower because everybody's like, "Yeah, they died."
Well, let's not worry about it because as soon as y'all start talking about Watchmen, I'm sure.
Go, Red. Go.
All right. Let's get to it. Watchmen.
One man.
Ooh, we was watching that man. Let me tell you. All right.
I had it on my laptop, so I was able to pause and look.
You're not gonna get a screen grab. Hold on.
I had
that's your wallpaper now?
What?
Zoom in.
So anyway, Watchmen. Let's start from the beginning and work our way up that mountain.
Sorry. From the tip. The
top.
Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous.
Oh
Lord. That's gonna get edited.
So if you don't know, now you know. Hold on. All right. So spoilers. We're gonna spoil it up right now. Okay. So Watchmen. I don't know where do I start with this. This is set in a weird place in that it's kind of related to the movie, but also related to the comics, and it's like it's that parallel.
It's fully related to the comics. It's nothing related to the movie at all.
Right.
That is a little related to the movie. I feel like it's okay. Forget all y'all.
It's like it's related to the movie with character wise,
which comes from the comics anyway. So
right. So
yeah, unrelated to the movies.
Y'all shut up. Yeah. So since they shot that down, I lost my train of thought. It takes place in some type of parallel future place. And we had the reason we watched it, I think, is not just because it's Watchmen. Like Watchmen, we cover comic book stuff, but also because it's before you start to see it, it has an interesting cast, right? We've got Regina King, who's leading, which you don't see Black women leading superhero shows. So we're like, okay, let's check this out. We start to watch it, and like she was a stronger lead than I anticipated. I didn't realize. I don't mean her acting. I anticipated her acting her behind off because that's what she does every time she's in something. But I didn't anticipate the show revolving around her in the way that it did.
Completely revolving around her. This is absolutely 100% her story, her show, her hero's journey, all of that.
Yeah. And even in the first episode, I was excited about her character because this is a strong Black, educated female lead done the right way.
Yeah.
It's done in a sense that she is intelligent. She has a dope job that's dangerous, but she got a passion for it. She's really good at it. And she also has a family.
She has a family.
And she has a fine-ass husband.
Fine-ass Black
Let me talk about it.
Oh, God. Okay.
Fine. But she got white kids. We're going to talk about that. But the reason she has white kids is because
she's not a single mother.
She adopted her children out of her benevolence. All right, she wasn't planning on having kids, but stuff went down. She said, I'm going to raise these babies, and I respect it.
Yep.
That being said, no, her fine husband is important, right? That's the thing. Like, we usually see the man character with the trophy wife, right? Yep. She doesn't do anything. She's got big boobs, and she just, walks around in a bikini, and that's her life. It's the equivalent of that in this, right? He's fine, and he's not a whole lot more. Like, he raises the kids.
He's fine and he's nice.
Loves her. He does what he's supposed to do. He's a great husband, but he's like the trophy husband you think. Like, that's how it's set up.
He's usually the spouse that when you see these shows where like the main character is the hero or something like that, they have this spouse who like is their support, their anchor, what makes them fight the good fight so they can come home to their family. And that's who he is in the male form.
Right. And he's beautiful.
I love it.
Right.
And like, it's important. And I obviously I've told y'all before that I like Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. And me saying that he's fine is not just me
said the full name too.
The whole, because you have to
honor
honor
put some
it.
respect on it. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. What was I gonna say? It's not just that I like him and that I'm attracted to him. It's that it's important to the aspect of the story is that she has a trophy husband. And then you see this in the first sex scene and all the subsequent sex scenes. Whoever did this in the way that Issa Rae does her sex scenes, and it's what I love. It's a flip. Because usually you have the man is in the sex scene, but it's about the woman. Like, he's the object, and he's what the woman is acting around and on, right? So we're focused on her. We're focused on her body. She's nude. Whatever. This show they flipped that. He's nude. We're zooming in on his butt.
Glory.
Like, it's not about Regina at all. And that I love that. And the fact that one, I'm a woman, I want to see it. But two, you don't get to see that ever, right?
Rarely.
It's always.
It also makes me want to try my closet. I haven't tried that yet. So. The first one, they were in the closet. Nobody.
What?
In the closet.
I didn't care where they at, but no, I like to see them role reversal because I'm tired of seeing booby. Right, I'm tired of seeing a woman as an object. I'm tired of sex scenes that are shot from the viewpoint of a man for a male audience.
And outside of the fact that, of course, this is Regina King, and it's not like we're going to be seeing her in any type of thing. I love to think Yahya just likes being out there like that, because this is the first time Homeboy has allowed himself to be used in such a sexual manner.
What are we talking about?
Black Mirror, and then there was something else.
I forgot about Black Mirror.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's right.
Forgot about Black Mirror.
Made the connection, then forgot because I was
Striking Venom. Yeah,
about it.
Yeah,
he about it.
The Vipers or whatever it was called.
Okay,
but it is absolutely correct.
Speaking of Vipers,
he is used in the scene very well to show she's always at the end of it. She's the one that's in control of this relationship. Even when they're having sex, it is based on what her needs are and what she wants, she likes, which is her big, strong black husband who gives the world to her. And you see that even from their initial conversations.
Right. And I love it. And as a black woman, I was like, oh, I want one of them.
Yeah.
Do
they go on sale during Black Friday? Like, where can I find my
But if we could possibly just off of Yahya for just a few seconds.
No, we're talking about Yahya too. We're going to take Yahya to the end.
Talk about him anyway, because he's like the highlight of the show.
Damn sure he is.
Shut up. Anyway.
All right, so how are we going to do this? We're going to get through the Yahya discussion for y'all. We'll make it as quick and painless as we can. And then we'll circle back and talk about other aspects. If y'all didn't make it to the live show, you're really missing out right now. Let me tell you. Because there's some comments that you just ain't going to get on iTunes. So make sure you're following us on Twitch at twitch.tv/BlackMareCast if you want to watch the live show. All right. That being said, so Yahya, let me think. He don't do a whole lot for a while. He's just a pretty fine husband. And if you notice, other characters comment on his fineness. And it's kind of like, it's a foreshadowing. For me, I was just like, yo, they really worried about how fine this man is.
Right. I was just really, like, okay.
Right. And so it's really a, what up, Peanut? It's really a foreshadowing of what is to come. And what is to come, guys, they end up getting attacked and you don't see what happens in the attack. Turns out he defended her using some magic powers. Right. So what we hear is, or what we find is he's actually Dr. Manhattan in disguise as a beautiful black man. And for me, watching the show, I follow Yahya Abdul-Mateen II on all of his social media, and I've been following him for a while, so I was actually spoiled. He posted immediately, as soon as it aired, he posted himself covered in blue body paint. So I was like, damn. So I expected it, but I mean, whatever. I was frustrated with being spoiled, but I knew that Watchmen from the movie does the full frontals on Dr. Manhattan. So I was like, the only thing that can redeem him from spoiling this for me is if we see all of it. And we did. And Boom.
Oh my gosh.
So this is, we gotta discuss it. All right. Ooh, hold on to your seat. We gotta do this. So
Are
no,
you
this.
getting your first day back? What's going on?
Let me get my hair together before we talk
Right?
about today. All right, y'all.
Jesus Christ.
The penis. With the penis. The penis is important. We're gonna talk about the penis. This is why it's important.
Man made in God's own image. Glory.
It's important for the reasons that we mentioned before, as far as men never being objectified, about the women always being the objects. We rarely ever get full frontals on males, right? So the fact that we get a full frontal at all was important, especially in a show that don't have no titties, right? So that being said, not only do we get a full frontal, we get a full frontal in his black skin. Like, yes, he's a blue man. Yes, we get the blue penis, but we get a full, fine, swole black man, butt naked, that's actually not being treated like chattel, or
he's not
like
a slave.
He's not a slave. He's not a thing. He's not getting his ass whooped. He's just a naked black man walking up into somebody's house.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing because we've never seen that on TV. I can't tell you when I've seen a naked black man in his own right, not being applied, not with an huge member. Well, he's not. He's naked, but he's not. It's not a.
It's art.
I mean, I'm objective, but I mean the way that the show,
Okay, as long as y'all know.
No, I mean I'm talking about the show. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me personally. I'm talking about it's shown in a tasteful way. Mm-hmm. It is respectful. We do not get that, and that's important.
Absolutely.
It's important because a black man's penis, all right, hotep, y'all, has always been a source of envy and animosity from, slavery or whenever they found out about black men in Africa. It's been a problem for white people.
Yep.
Right? they've been jealous. They used to cut them off. They used to make fun of them. It used to be a problem. So to see this show, to have a black man thing out, just about his business, to me, super important. Yes, I wanted to see it, but sexuality aside, it's still major to me.
It's a solid, important message.
It was
absolutely.
solid. But
it was something that we didn't know was necessarily gonna happen or not. There was questions on was HBO, and thank God this was on HBO, what allowed us to, because of the history of the fact not only was he Dr. Manhattan, and people were going to have issue with a black man playing Dr. Manhattan, who is basically God in this, but the fact that they were going to show this black man, who is as much of a specimen of what the human male body should be considered perfect, tall, strong,
well proportioned.
Mid-thigh. Praise God.
I'm trying to have the conversation.
But that was how beautiful it was, Jay. They is oiled up.
In all its luminescent glory.
It was oiled up too. Oh,
they even zoomed in on it at one point.
And I
must have used those special razors so you didn't get no bumps or something. Anyway,
he had the shape on it. He had the tape on it, and it just.
He had a tape up. He had that shit. He got that on that 12. But
oh my God! All right, go ahead. Talk about how pretty it was. Let's hear
it. And it was important to show because I think it really showed how much the writers and directors of this show were respectful to black people in the entirety of the whole show. And this was the one thing, because we got all of the beauty and the strength of a black woman in Regina King, and this gave us the moment of being able to see that in her beautiful black man, who was the trophy, but was also a trophy for a reason.
Yep.
Right. He wasn't just a trophy. Like, he was hiding. She was trying to protect him. He was saving, whatever. And even his end, she went to war for him.
Yep.
And I love that. Still continued role reversal, right? I love it. He didn't go to war because he knows the deal. Like, he sees the future. He don't see the point. He's different than us. He don't see the point in doing stuff because he already knows what's going to happen. I respect that. But she got out there with a gun, was rolling in the grass, shooting people, stuff's blowing up. She's, I'm not accepting this. We're going to do better. And I just, from beginning to end, and that is the end-ish.
From the moment he said, I'm going to die tonight, they coming right now, she was locked and loaded. This is not...
They could cry. And then...
I like it.
I loved it.
Because that's a strong, educated black woman that I can identify with, to me.
And that's a stereotype that we typically don't get to see when it comes to having a large black cast. Jay talked, he like tapped on it for a little bit. Like, you know, people were potentially going to have a problem. A black man playing Dr. Manhattan, who was essentially God in this series. So to exemplify and to like raise the black man up to that podium, that was going to be an issue in itself.
And it was.
It was.
Ooh, Twitter was
big mad.
They could be mad.
Big mad.
They could be big.
They could stay mad.
All day.
All right, I think I've said everything that I have to say about Dr. Manhattan and his nudity. Shout out to Yahya Abdul-Mateen II again.
Oh my God.
One more comment on
about it.
I just want to see more of him, more of his work.
What do you think about Dr. Manhattan and his large nudity?
I'm not even checking for that, but I didn't really care for it. I just know how he was.
Wait. Why didn't you care for it?
I thought like they would put him in
Did
like.
you feel objectified?
Hold on. I want to hear this. Why didn't you care?
Put on some pants because nobody. It was every second. It's like, oh my God, oh.
It showed up twice.
That's it.
So.
Y'all get titties for 20 cents, like 2 decades, and you mad about these 2 screenshots?
Nah, I mean, but all jokes aside, I mean, it was all right.
We did a little more analysis than that, brother. Come on.
I'm not sitting here staring at no dude's penis.
We're not asking you how you felt about the shape of it.
Man, just look at a penis, brother. All right.
Nah, man.
I'm not asking you how you felt.
I'm not here grading somebody.
Hold on, bro. We're not asking you how you felt about how it looked. We're asking you how you felt about it being shown on TV.
The significance.
As a black man who doesn't get that type of representation, whose body has been objectified for centuries, who's been envied, who is in danger of something happening to you because of the jealousy that comes behind the way that you are built. How do you feel about seeing that on TV in a way that is not sexualized and it's like done tastefully? How does that make you feel?
Well, tastefully,
girl.
I didn't necessarily look at it that way. Now that you mention it, I mean, it is what it is, man. I ain't really care for it.
Did you feel represented?
Did you feel one with Dr. Manhattan?
What was that voice?
Moving on.
There's a black and white episode that caused a lot of contention, and it basically goes into the storyline of Regina's grandfather, who is what's the name of the dude?
Hooded Justice.
Hooded Justice, the first hero. To me, this was definitely something that veered away from comics. And that Hooded Justice, we've always seen Hooded Justice as a white dude with a bag on his head and a noose around his neck, which makes no sense. But they actually made it make sense by saying that he was a black man wearing whiteface after a lynching, which hence the bag and the thing.
I love it.
And that's who he was. And he went down in history as a white man. And we never knew that he was actually a brother. That's such a great cleanup. It makes so much more sense that, like, okay, I get it. But what people had a problem with, the black folks had a problem with, is he's gay.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. Like, there's a big thing where people feel like black men are being emasculated through their gayness. And I have another issue that I think it's just representation. Like, gay black men do exist. Right? So, I mean, I don't have an issue with him being black and gay and being a hero. I don't know. How did y'all feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it.
I'm neutral. It's not that I had a problem with it. I had a small problem with it. Like, I don't mind. And I really like how they cleaned it up, like you said. I just felt like it was more to make, like they chose that in order to make it all inclusive. Which, fine, whatever. But it just felt odd to me.
Forced?
Yeah, it felt forced. And
it wasn't necessary. It really had nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
I can agree with that.
It's not necessarily forced because that's part of the history before we knew he was a black man. We knew Hooded Justice had this situation with the Minutemen. This is part of the history.
Take it back.
Him being turned into a black man was the new element that made it wow. So not only are you black, not only was the Hooded Justice a black man in whiteface, but he was a black man in whiteface who was a police officer who was gay in the 1930s.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a lot.
I think I like the way it played out.
Yeah,
I think the
Oh,
fact
it was
that
done excellently.
I think the fact that he ended up getting he cheated on his wife with this white man,
Mhm.
and he thought that we were gonna be we're gonna be partners. I'm gonna be on this team. You're gonna fight crime with me. You really care about me, and he got played. Dude, won't worry about nothing but them cheeks.
Yep.
And I love that because that's how they do. Like
Right.
that's how it would go down in real life. And I'm like, he got what he deserved because he shouldn't have cheated on his awesome, beautiful wife.
Beautiful black wife.
But also, that's how they do. Well, you know who I mean by they.
Because he
So,
also, which I also think was a real great way of talking about allies in today's world.
Yeah.
Like, who's really
again,
an ally?
that's how they do.
Come through.
Right.
Because, he didn't care that you were black, that you were good at justice. He wants you to be a part of this team. We're going to change this world. And as soon as you say, yo, there's some racist white folk who are really making it hard, not only for us, but for you guys in a minute. And they were like, give me them cheeks.
Right.
Like,
Be like, let's talk about this
Negro.
later.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't want to even assist with that.
Just post for the press
Yeah.
brief. We'll talk about it later.
Mm,
And that's how it is in real life. That's how it is.
pretty much.
Like you can be a part of the team, you can be represented, you can be accounted, but as soon as you raise some real issues, especially issues that are occurring because of your blackness, oh nah.
At the end of the day,
We'll deal with that later.
But then we do see a real ally in Looking Glass.
Looking Glass is a G. Looking Glass
Looking
was
Glass
he
is what
did some
you
stuff
would
that was like
expect
questionable,
in a real
and
ally.
you didn't know for a minute like where he was headed with his stuff, but he was
I never doubted him.
I doubted him for a minute. Like, hold up,
Which one was Looking Glass again?
your boy, the one you like,
The
with
one
the
with
mask.
the thing on the okay.
I liked him.
I had a feeling. I was just like, no, he ain't gonna turn. This dude's ride or die. I'm
And
with
you
it.
get those. There is some thorough. I don't want to use the word redneck, but I mean he was a deep country boy.
Mhm.
There's a small handful of them that are thorough.
Thorough.
And it's because they live a shared experience that we live. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar. Like white people treat them almost the way they treat us. And there's a very small handful of them that know that and act accordingly. And he was one of those. And I respect him because he was thorough to the end.
Loved it.
And I like
To
his
the
origin story.
bitter end, he was like,
his
you caused this, y'all racist.
They tried to turn him out just because he was
kind of crazy.
They tried to turn him out, and
just
he
because
still.
he was white. Yeah.
That's what they thought. They thought, skin folk is kin folk. That's not always the case. All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap it here and let her. On that note, everybody go to sleep. Get up and go to work in the morning. Get up and go to your job where you're not getting paid as much as your white coworkers. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I know I'm not. Anyway, I don't know. Y'all got anything to make us feel better? I got nothing. Yeah, I said we're gonna wrap up. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.
Shout out to P3.
Yeah, MP3, thanks for hanging in there with us for the entire episode. I know it was a rough ride at one point. Let me pull up my dashboard real quick. Make sure ain't nobody I need to think about it. Damn, come on, Twitch. I didn't pull up what I need to pull up before it was time to pull it up. So give me half a second. Or I'm just gonna wrap it. It's taking too long. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it here. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. It's been real. Holla at you on the flip side. Join us for other episodes. Good night.